Welcome back to Let's Talk. We have Amanda Pup here from Market Reach and also the immediate past president of Najabo. Again, thanks for being here. You have enough experience, and I would love for you to share that with our viewers. What is it like to start your own business, and also what is it like for an existing business to build their business?
Sure. Well, Gary, it's never easy, right? We've got ups and downs. The first thing I would recommend is when I first started my business, I had my best friends, my two best friends, sitting on both sides of me. And I said, listen, guys, I'm going to start my own company. And they said, Amanda, are you crazy? You're going to leave a safe, secure job and start your own thing. What do you know? Like, what do you know about anything? And I said, well, you're probably right, but I'm going to try it anyway. And the first piece of advice I would offer is that there will be naysayers, and they might even be from your own family. Before you say, I'm just not going to listen to them at all, you do want to take a moment and ask yourself, do I have a product that fits a need in the marketplace? Because you might have naysayers because they want to protect you. But at the same time, you do want to make sure that you have a good idea. You want to have a good idea that is received in the market so that you're not burning through your savings. And then 3 years later, you say, I'm burnt out, broke, and what do I have to show? So there is some degree of practicality with starting a business. But I think it's also important to go with your gut. You know, they say that all the time, go with your gut. And that has to do with the way you hire, that has to do with firing, that has to do with taking risks. So there's a lot to be said for going with your gut. And maybe that is because that may have something to do with me being a woman, I'm not sure. But I know that women going with their gut is usually not the wrong way to do it.
And just having the idea isn't necessarily the answer. There's so many aspects, location, like we talked about, as well as the business side, accounting and payroll and taxes. I guess you had the payroll part down, so you don't have to worry about that.
Right.
But what other parts of starting your own business, marketing, that sort of thing?
You know what, Gary, one of the other things that I've learned is that we can't do it all. We as business owners come in with certain skill sets, and one of the mistakes that I know I made when I first started was not that I had to do it all, but that I would keep the money close to the vest because I knew I didn't have that much, and therefore I wasn't able to hire people that were better than me at certain tasks. And I would say if there's one thing to do as a business owner, especially in your first couple years, is this. One is you want to get good at sales. If you're a business owner and you're starting up, unless you've got a couple $1 million in the bank to hire everybody that can do what you don't want to do, for example, you've got to get good at sales, because you're the engine of your company when you first start a business, assuming that you're not going to have 5 people under you that you can pay, $100,000 to each. So you do want to understand all the facets of the business, but you also want to make sure that you hire people that are better than you at certain tasks that either you don't want to do or you're not as good at. The second thing is you want to make sure that you do have what we call the business plan and the marketing plan. You know, there are a lot of different debates and beliefs about how real a business plan is. And a business plan, in my head, is really nothing more than a roadmap. It's going to allow you to put on paper what your vision is, and it can be changed. It's an evolving, product, but the opportunity to lay out a map and then follow different courses. And if you veer off course, no big deal. You can get back on track or you can change your course. Same thing with a marketing plan. Many businesses say, well, number one, I service everybody. Everybody can be my client. Everybody can be your client. If people are calling into you, great, everybody can be your client. But when you're thinking about spending marketing dollars, you can't market to everybody unless you're Crest, unless you've got a brand that you've got multi-millions of dollars to advertise with. So the opportunity to put a marketing plan together and say, okay, how will I reach a couple specific target markets? I told you earlier in this interview that we have certain target markets. So when I'm doing this trade show in April, I'm going to a coffee, vending, and tea conference. So that's where I'm putting $5,000. And I recommend that business owners consider, how am I going to put my marketing dollars to best use with certain techniques? And nothing works by itself. I wouldn't tell you just hire Market Reach. I'd say, who else can you hire? Can you do direct mail? Can you work with Gary? Can you put together a trade show? What are you going to do so that you're creating a brand?
You've mentioned numbers throughout this interview. You seem to be a numbers person. Do you watch every number that comes in and goes out, whether it be your number of employees or the money that comes in and out?
Great question, Gary. As a matter of fact, this was not something I was very good at my first few years of business. It's only in the past few years that I've been truly dedicated, and that's in part help from Aldana Ambler, who we discussed earlier before this interview, which is to really understand how am I putting together, what kind of information do I have at my fingertips through my, for example, through QuickBooks, so that I understand what those numbers look like. You know, what is my break even? What does my revenue look like this month compared to this month last year? And what does that mean for my growth? Where am I overspending? Where can I put more money into for the growth of the business?
Right. Do you foresee yourself staying in Mercer County forever, or are you planning on having offices other places?
I grew up in Long Island, but I am absolutely a Jersey girl, and I love Mercer County. So I see no reason to leave. My husband and I are very happy in Mercer County, and I love it here. We're an hour from everything.
Before we go, we just got about another minute left. You mentioned NAJABO and the Chamber of Commerce in Mercer County. You talked a little bit about the value of those organizations, but what haven't you mentioned, and why is it so valuable to get involved with networking organizations?
Sure. This goes together with the marketing plan. So I always recommend to anybody that's considering the networking organizations they want to belong to, which is, again, you're putting money out and time out to network with people that either can directly provide you with leads or opportunity or indirectly. So the question of, you know, where am I going to get the best bang for my buck? If leads is what's most important, and at the same time, you may also, for example, the reason I joined NAJABO was really for the education and support. When I first started, I was 26 and relatively clueless. So the opportunity to gain information and education from women that were happy to help was really inspiring and important for me. And then as the years went along, I ended up doing business with probably about $100,000 worth of business, directly or indirectly, over the 10 years that I've been a member.
We just have a minute left. Let our viewers know again your website for both NAJABO and Market Reach. Go ahead.
Sure. Again, my name is Amanda Puppo. It's been a pleasure to be here. My website is www.marketreach.biz, and the NAJABO website is www.njawbo.org. That's najabo.org.
Amanda, thank you so much for being here, and hope you'll be back soon. Good luck and congratulations on all that you do.
Thank you. It was a pleasure.
And thank you for watching. We'll see you again next time.